Oh, wait a minute. Shoot.
What, they can't hear us?
No, it's just...
YouTube didn't see it?
YouTube didn't see the intro.
Are you kidding?
But YouTube has the intro. Okay, YouTube, we've been live for like 3.5 minutes. And I forgot to enable the auto start. It's really an important step on that.
We just played this new intro. Go at YouTube. It's a main video on YouTube. We just played it. LTV Real put it together. It's fantastic. Yes, so go watch that if YouTubers who just are now joining us.
Gotta double check that. We're live everywhere else.
We have so much great news for you guys.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah, well, it would be funny actually to go live like after the first 5 minutes.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know
like
sometimes
throw some bones out there.
Yeah. I like to bait the YouTubers to join us on the various platforms. So I'm going to throw out some bait right now. We have probably the biggest news for Resistance Chicks that we've ever had. Whoop, whoop. Like, seriously, and it's good news.
But we're not getting married. That's not it.
For Resistance Chicks.
For Resistance Chicks, for the channel.
For the channel, for you and I and this home team we have here going on. Speaking of home teams. So, speaking of home teams, Georgia has enacted some new election laws.
Right.
Now, on YouTube, we're not allowed to talk about how maybe somebody did some weird things with the election laws that were already on the books.
Mm-hmm.
But we will at our halfway point here on YouTube. YouTube is Resistance Chicks Light. And then at the halfway point, usually we go Resistance Chicks Heavy. So join us on the second half. On our other platforms, as long as Facebook allows us, and then D-Live, Twitch. And I'm very excited about Frank. And we have a viewer named Frank. He's very excited, very loyal viewer. But actually, I'm talking about Mike Lindell's new social media site, supposedly going to be going live at around April 12th, the week of April 12th, which is also going to be a very fantastic, exciting week for Resistance Chicks. And you guys are going to join us on that. And I'm hoping you'll join us on Frank. And we're going to see how that's all by faith for us, and all kind of wondering how that's going to go down. Mike Lindell says he's ready for 1 billion users on Frank. He's ready for YouTubers. It's made for podcasters and YouTubers. It's made for it's a Twitter and it's a YouTube. And it's going to be fantastic. I believe it's going to be fantastic, and I'm very excited to switch over and just be frank.
Just be frank with y'all. We just want to be frank.
So I would like to be frank, but let me talk to the Major League Baseball here for a second. Major League Baseball has moved its All-Star game from Atlanta, Georgia, because of the passing of these new election laws, which actually are not that stringent and actually not different than many states in the country. And actually, Brian Kemp just came out and said, let's see how Georgia's election laws stack up against New York. New York allows like 10 days of early voting, and Georgia is going to allow 17. And the people in New York are saying, you guys shortening your early voting is bad. It's like, what? It's so weird.
Very strange.
Delta's weighing in on it. Coca-Cola. And in response, the House of Representatives of Georgia has rescinded tax credits for Delta.
Nice.
Because everybody knows Delta, Atlanta is the hub for Delta.
Yeah.
And for Delta to come out and say, weigh in on this election law.
You know what? You're a corporation. You're not even a person. So sit down.
And Apple, the iPhone people.
Oh my gosh.
So NLB caves to Biden. Biden came out and said it was going back to Jim Crow laws.
Here's the thing I love about MLB going back, like doing this, right?
Baseball, yeah, Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball. You're already limping on your way to death thanks to all of these lockdown things. Okay, you know what I'm saying? People are over it. They're going hiking. They're out playing baseball with their family. Okay, but they're over it.
Right.
You have. I don't even know. Yesterday was opening day. No one talked about it. Where was the parade going through downtown Cincinnati that we get every year with the red leggings and all that? Like, none of it.
So the NLB says this, that the Major League Baseball says, Major League Baseball fundamentally supports voting rights for all Americans and opposes restrictions to the ballot box. And to anyone, I guess. Maybe 2 ballots, 3 ballots, 4 ballots.
Here's how I feel about this.
Wait, let me finish this.
Okay, fine.
In 2020, MLB became the first professional sports league to join the nonpartisan Civic Alliance. Oh, nonpartisan, really? Right. To help build a future in which everyone participates in sharing in the United States, we proudly use our platform to encourage baseball fans and communities throughout our country to perform their civic duty and actively participate in the voting process. So what this is telling me is that the Major League Baseball was joining with Zuckerberg's movement to enact, to go around a lot of these election laws that were already on the books.
Yep.
These ballot boxes were new, and I'm not saying that anything happened with them on YouTube. But these were new, these drop boxes. Things were changed. They were definitely, things were different.
Here's how I feel about this. It's kind of like they're having a temper tantrum that says, like, we had a backdoor to go in and steal goods from Walmart. And you...
Wait, you're on YouTube.
I'm not talking about stealing an election.
Okay.
Okay? I'm talking about... I'm okay, what can I equate it to? Doing something wrong. Just being a bad person. Okay? They're like, we would like to have our access back to be a bad person. And it's wrong that you've taken our access away to be a bad person.
Reforms to make voter
I'm so
ID
over
requirements
YouTube, I can't even see straight.
Dude, we do the YouTube for just a teaser.
I know, but you're talking about this now.
I know, but I am.
And sometimes I forget.
I know you do. I'm trying to remind you.
I'm going to have to pull this light bulb out here because it's flickering.
You're touching me.
I touched you. I'm so sorry. She's having a cow.
I don't like to touch. She's pulling out a light. Why are you doing that? You know it bothers me.
Touch. Okay.
Oh my gosh, there have been reports that the Major League Baseball might choose to use the Atlanta-based All-Star Game as a platform for social justice in response to the voter reform bill.
How are we supposed to talk about this on YouTube?
We're just reporting it. Can't we just report it? You don't have to commentate. I tell people to stay with us. We commentate at the second half.
Is that a word?
Commentate.
It's just comment.
Commentate.
No, I don't think that's a word.
We are commentating.
Commenting. We're commenting.
Let's see what Newt Gingrich has to say.
Newt.
Oh, we're gonna have an ad here. We're gonna mute this ad. Former House Speaker Gingrich on Friday rallied against the disgraceful corporations that are critical of the new election law in Georgia. Seriously, you're gonna... Okay, I just get through there, Amazon.
It's not gonna play until you turn.
I'm muting.
And oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It's just frozen.
Is it just frozen? I'm gonna plug myself in. I'm gonna plug this puppy in. Get things going in the right direction. Gingrich pointed out that during an interview with Fox News Channel America's Newsroom that corporations like Coca-Cola will speak out against the Georgia election law, but stand silently when it comes to the CCP.
We can talk about this on YouTube.
Everybody. Sir, how are you? And good morning to you. Thanks for being on our program today. I just want to read you something from the CEO of Coca-Cola. He was born in England. He put out the following statements in a letter, and it's pretty extensive. I'll read it for you here, okay? Stand by. Voting is a foundational right in America, and we have long championed efforts to make it easier to vote. We want to be crystal clear and state unambiguously that we are disappointed in the outcome of the Georgia voting legislation. Additionally, our focus is now on supporting federal legislation that protects voting access and addresses voter suppression across the country. Some may think that may be in reference to H.R. 1, now headed for the Senate in some form or another. How do you see this going down?
Well, first of all, H.R. 1 is the Corrupt Politicians Act. It eliminates all the barriers that protect us and allow honest citizens to count honest votes. Second, almost everything said about the Georgia law is a lie, just plain a lie. When President Biden, reading off, I assume, his staff notes, said that you couldn't get water standing in line, that's flat, plain untrue. You can't. In fact, it specifically authorizes the voting officials to provide water for people standing in line if it's hot. When they say it reduces the number of hours you can vote, that's just plain a lie. It actually increases the number of hours you can vote. But here's the deal. Coca-Cola is not going to say a word about all the things the Chinese totalitarian government does. They're not going to have any courage at all. about standing up to China because it costs them too much. But living in a woke world where they hire woke staff who come out of really elite universities and tell them, oh yeah, this is the right thing to do, boss. You really got to get out there and be tough. And then they hand them this stuff that's just plain lies. It's disgraceful how many large American corporations will beat up on conservatives and then stand silently by while the Chinese communists kill people, kill Uyghurs, run concentration camps, and have totalitarian control of the society. It tells you how corrupted so many of these large corporations have become. And what they're doing, frankly, is, I think, is they're eroding any authority they have with the public, because the public's going to look at the head of Coca-Cola and say, I got it. You're in the tank for the left, and you're willing to put out whatever your staff writes.
Let me give you a few things here on the claims versus what's in the law. Number one, voting ends at 5 o'clock. That's the claim. Election day polls actually open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Another claim, reducing early voting hours. The truth is that in the bill, it expands early voting hours in most cases. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 with the option to extend, requires 2 Saturdays of early voting. Another claim, eliminates early voting on Sundays. The truth is counties have the option to add 1 or even 2 Sundays of voting. Claim, no absentee ballots. Actually, voters have to submit a driver's license number or a state ID number or an acceptable voter ID. A lot of that apparently got lost in the shuffle between last Thursday when the bill was signed and this past Wednesday when all these statements came out from the companies, many of which are based in Atlanta, Georgia. You mentioned the woke CEOs, Wall Street Journal. They're denouncing Georgia's election law, but have they read it? That's from the editorial board.
Look, it's very interesting, and if you look at it carefully, the left is desperate to have elections that they can rig, and they're going all out, and they put out a series of things, as you just pointed out. These are just plain lies. This isn't complicated. You go to the bill, you look at the bill, you're allowed, you can vote on Sunday. They lied and said you couldn't. You can vote earlier. They lied and said you couldn't. You can get water in line. They lied and said you couldn't. I mean, this tells you with H.R. 1 as the Corrupt Politicians Act nationally, and the all-out effort on their part to set up, as Eric Erickson wrote, this actually is designed to ultimately end the filibuster, because they'll never pass H.R. 1 while the filibuster's there. And I think if people learn what's in H.R. 1, they're going to be so angry and they're being totally misled. And I think President Biden's credibility is in tatters. He reads these things that his staff writes. He has no idea whether or not they're true. And in the case of the Georgia bill, the things that President Biden said are flatly false. And he owes the people of Georgia.
We can certainly talk about the bill. We can certainly talk about the things that were in the bill.
Right.
Things I wouldn't have done. Expand early voting to 17 days.
Exactly.
Put voting on Sundays. Like, that's sacrilegious to me.
Exactly.
There is no reason to vote on Saturdays.
No,
Monday through Friday.
No.
Here's the thing. I grew up, you voted on the Tuesday. That was it.
That's what you get. Oh, gosh.
So the Democrats did enact, and they had the whole article there. The Economist, was it the Economist magazine, Vogue? I don't know I forget who put it out. They explained how they went full out to change election law. They were proud of it. Okay?
Are we allowed to say
That's it. They're proud of that part. I didn't say that it had fraudulent outcomes. They were proud of what they did to increase the voter turnout. Okay? And they want to codify that in H.R. 1.
Yep.
Everything that they did in November 3rd. And so that's what's going down over there. That's what's shaking. So we will definitely cover more of this. But this is where I think we're okay to talk about the fact that raise your hand if you're just tired of corporations and everything being turned political.
Can we just go and take me out to the ball game? Take me out to the crowd. Just buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back, and neither do they.
Yeah.
They don't care if you never come back, never watch another game, as long as they stay woke.
Woke.
Oh my gosh.
Calling the new Georgia voter law the new Jim Crow, or Biden's preferred language, Jim Crow on steroids. is not only misleading, but it undermines the significance of just how terrible Jim Crow laws really were.
But it also says it is targeting black people, Jim Crow and black people. It's simple.
Here's the thing. We have to submit our ID in Ohio for an absentee ballot.
I gotta show my ID to vote.
Is that Jim Crow?
I don't know. It's racist. They don't want white people voting in Ohio. They don't want white females voting in Ohio.
Requiring citizens to provide a form of ID to request an absentee ballot is not the same thing as a racial caste system that regulated black Americans to a status of second-class citizens.
They think they can just
People are required to provide an ID in order to do all sorts of things. You must show an ID to obtain a library card or to fly on a plane, which makes Delta's criticism of the bill somewhat ironic.
I think Delta should let people fly without their driver's license.
I think Delta should allow me to get on that plane with my shoes. If
I go to fly again, which is probably never going to happen in my life, I'm going to start screaming racist. If they try to wand me or pat me, because they try to get fresh, they will do that. Okay? I'm telling you, they don't just get the females. Those males get in there and get a little crazy. I'm telling you, it's not right. I'm going to start screaming racist, misogynist. They won't let me fly without an ID.
You got 72 black executives were joined by the likes of Google, Apple, JP Morgan, Citigroup, BlackRock, Home Depot, Delta Airlines, and Coca-Cola in opposing Georgia's new voting law, which they say will disproportionately impact black communities. I'm explaining something to you.
Explain it, Leah.
When you say... that white people can show up with an ID, but black people cannot.
That's racist.
You might be a racist. And then somebody had a picture of like a driver's license and said, how are people supposed to identify which number is your driver's license number? And if you put on the wrong number, then your vote won't be counted. How is that fair? And I'm like, well, it might be the DL and then the NO, driver's license number. And if you think that white people can figure it out,
but black people can't, you might be a racist.
Because I believe that all people can look at a driver's license, and on any other form, when they're asked for their driver's license number, they can figure it out. All people. Because if you went through school, if you went through like elementary, okay, and you can't figure out where your driver's license number is on a card, you have bigger problems.
You have to pass a written test to get a driver's license, I think, in all 50 states.
You do?
If you can read enough to pass the written test on your driver's license application or whatever it's called, then you can tell where it says driver's license number. It doesn't always say DLNO, period, Leah. A lot of them just say license number.
I know.
Like the words, license, and then like hashtag. I can see some millennials, regardless of race, going license hashtag. I do not see license number on here. I see license hashtag, but I don't see no license number.
Here's one of these commercial breaks. Nothing to see here. Microsoft files a patent to mine cryptos using human brain activity.
Holy smokes. Today,
and we are totally not
it's the Matrix.
Head first into a completely dystopian future at 1 billion miles an hour. News is from Zero Hedge. Microsoft is reportedly proposing a method to generate cryptocurrency by monitoring people's brain activity and other personal biometric data. Now, I wonder how they might do that with the vaccine passport. The company has reportedly filed for the patent called Cryptocurrency System Using Body Activity Data, which details how a person could attach sensors to their body to earn cryptocurrency through mining.
I'm going to tell you what this is. I'm going to tell you exactly what this is. Now, don't go on in the article because I'm going to tell them what this is. I used to want to be one of those secret shoppers, or what's the magazine that they used to, Consumer Reports.
Oh, yeah.
Right, where they send you the product for free.
You try it out.
And you try it out. So what this is you are not mining for crypto, okay? You're not getting, and what they want is to hook up to your body, Okay? And they're putting it under the guise, well, it'll mine crypto. No! It has nothing to do with mining crypto. They just want to hook up to you.
Microsoft is apparently not just satisfied with computers doing the crypto mining. They are pushing them for mining via human body
crypto.
activity.
It is not about that.
Associated with a task. The patent states, for example, a brainwave or body heat emitted from the user when the user performs the task provided by an information service provider, such as viewing an advertisement or using certain internet services, can be used in the mining process. The brainwave or body heat emitted from the user.
That is the biggest load
it continues.
Of bunk I have ever
Instead
heard
of
in my
massive
entire
computation
life.
work required by some conventional cryptocurrency systems, data generated based on the body activity of the user can be proof of work, and therefore a user can solve the computationally difficult problem unconsciously. Such a system would require hooking up a device to sensors on the body that detect the activity required of the user to generate the cryptocurrency. The report says the body fluid flow and the organ activity and movement are two such body functions, along with brain waves and body heat that could be monitored. The patent lists 28 concepts for using such a system to mine for cryptocurrency.
This is all a farce. This is the first I've heard of this. Okay, I am telling you, this is not real. If you believe this, I got a bridge to sell you, or I want your investment into wireless electricity. Okay, so listen to me here. All right, they are just. This is going to give a whole new meaning to hooking up. They just want you. They want to get into you. Okay, yeah. It is not about mining crypto. They're talking about rewards here. Like, it'll reward you. It'll show that you've worked. This is a good time to watch.
You have to do something like watch an ad or something.
No. But that's the thing.
That's the cover.
It's the cover, because when we're talking about the vaccine passport that they are all wanting you to get, okay, it's. DeSantis said it best. He's like, this is about information. This is really scary stuff.
Facebook wants. Here, Zuckerberg, he is a robot already. Like, you got to look at some of these people, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they look robotic. Oh, okay? Have you ever seen these people?
You know what? Patriot Gallery.
Mark Zuckerberg wants to hook into your brain waves, and so that you can do your Facebook with your brain.
No.
Like, how is Facebook supposed to interact with my brain?
You're going to call it Brain Book. Okay, listen, Patriot Gallery comes out a lot of times when God's giving her a word. She's writing a blog, and she does these big, you think we can talk water uphill? She comes out and she's going on and on and on. They want to lobotomize you. They are getting you used to sticking that thing up the nose, because she's like, when they do a lobotomy, you know what they do? They go up through the nose. And she's like, these tests are just to get you ready to be lobotomized. I think she's onto something with this.
Well, I have to tell you, so War Room, Steve Bannon on War Room Pandemic is going to have a special tomorrow on their 10 a.m. Saturday show.
Okay.
On
lobotomies,
on the technocracy. Okay, so on the idea of the Klaus Schwab, right, where he wants to computerize people, right. and the passports they want everybody to have are a way of monitoring your health and monitoring who you are, and it's like it's just getting your toe in the water.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, though. This is offensive to me. You know why?
It's offensive to me.
And I know some of our viewers get mad at me about this. It's my life, and I will live it, and I will live my best life, okay? Every once in a while, I will stop into McDonald's and get me a double cheeseburger and a large fry, okay? So what's going to happen is they want to hook up this lobotomy to you, the system, all right? They can go into your brain, and all of a sudden, if you've gained a pound or two, and your money and your monetary system is all linked together, and you pull up to McDonald's and you say, can I get a double cheese and a large fry and possibly a McFlurry or an ice cream cone and a large Coke, because that may be what I order when I go, and they're going to be like, I'm sorry, Michelle, you can't place that order this week. Please go home and run on the treadmill for 5 miles and drop 3 pounds, and then you can come back next week and possibly get your McDouble. That is how they're trying to work this thing out, and it makes me mad.
Donna Terry says the passport negates the HIPAA.
Tell me what I can and cannot eat.
Facts Matter says the swabs are contaminated. Masks are too. Mm-hmm. All right. We are going to go on to our next...
Do you know we are the best show on the internet?
I do. Suez Canal nearly doubles capacity to clear traffic jam of ships. So
they're letting
Sunday,
two go at once?
Sunday, the Suez Canal was not... clear, and so here's your breaking news. The Suez Canal has been cleared for a couple days, it's booming with activity. So I wanted to give you an update because we've done like 2 shows on this stuff. The chairman of the SAC, Osama Rabi, told Egypt today that the canal is being upgraded so as many as 95 vessels per day can transit, a 90% increase from the average of 50 ships per day. Cape Shipping Services, a maritime service provider, reported Thursday morning that as many as 324 vessels were waiting to transit the canal. There were 151 vessels north of Suez and 173 south of Suez. By the day, ships continue to arrive at the canal, and the reason behind the SAC's capacity increase is to ensure a logjam of vessels does not persist. And behind me, I think you can see.
I've got it right here. I've got it.
You can see the ships. We're getting through, man. We're getting through.
They're really cooking. How many were backed up?
I think over 300.
Oh,
so the captain
gosh.
revealed investigations shall answer the question of whether the ship's captain followed the instructions of the Suez Canal Guide. And it's definitely a public interest of what happened. He also said if ever given rejects the investigation, doesn't hand over the necessary information, Egypt will temporarily confiscate the vessel and its load. And from what I understand, it looks like already the shipping insurer expect a large loss, could be about $100 million just for that ship alone. So we'll see how that turns out. But Ever Given is free.
Now, we did finally, I think it was one of our viewers that clarified this. The company is called Evergreen. The ship was called the Ever Given.
There you go.
So now we know with the confusion there.
Yeah, I want you guys to hear Marco Rubio weigh in on the woke corporations there in Atlanta.
Airlines are business partners with the Chinese Communist Party, the same Chinese Communist Party that is committing genocide against Uyghur Muslims inside of China. So I look forward to a letter today from their CEO telling everyone that what the Chinese Communist Party is doing with genocide is unacceptable. I look forward to that letter saying that genocide does not reflect the values of Delta Airlines. Of course they're not going to send that letter, nor is Coca-Cola, nor is any of these other corporations that are out there proving to the world how woke they are, because they are woke corporate hypocrites. That's what they are. They're woke corporate hypocrites. They make billions of dollars in a country that doesn't even have elections. They make billions of dollars working with a country that has no respect for anyone or anything. And they don't say a word about it. But in America, they're prepared to boycott a state and condemn them publicly to show and prove how woke they are. They're hypocrites.
Well
Hypocrites.
Said,
It does in a country that doesn't even have elections. Tom Cotton says this is exactly right. The Delta CEO folded under pressure and smeared the state of Georgia with lies about Georgia's election bill. But Delta never said a word about Nancy Pelosi's attempted theft of the Miller Meek seat. There was another seat in Iowa that finally worked its way out. The Washington Examiner's Byron York notes that the backstory makes Delta and Battiston look even worse. Just like last week, Delta released a statement praising improvements in the bill on absentee voting, weekend voting, poll worker flexibility, and more, even though Delta conceded that the concerns remain over the provisions in the legislation. The assessment was actually positive last week from Delta on the bill. The statement prompted some ugly blowback from the left, from MSNBC anchor Keith Olbermann. Do not fly Delta. Don't spend money with Delta. Boycott Delta. Ruin Delta. Talk of punishing Georgia grew. On Wednesday night, President Biden said he would strongly support moving the baseball all-star game for July 13th in Atlanta. This is Jim Crow on steroids, and what they're doing in Georgia. The president has consistently misstated what is actually in the Georgia law.
It's so racist again. Just to amplify one more time in case you are missing this fact. What they're trying to say is that black people are uneducated and can't perform the simple tasks as everyone else, and that's why it's racist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes you racist.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
They've redefined what racism is so that they can continue to be it.
So Senator Grassley and Johnson are actually seeking intel records on Hunter Biden's Chinese business associates. Grassley is not letting this go, which I find incredibly hilarious.
It
was before the election that Grassley and Ron Johnson were putting forth all this stuff about Hunter Biden and his business associates, regardless of the laptop.
Right.
They have information from the Senate Intel Committee, and they're seeking more information. And it was absolutely hilarious is that these two guys are kind of like they're just like not letting this go. Right?
Good for them.
So, this is from the Epoch Times. 2 Republican senators are asking the Department of Justice and Intelligence community for any and all intelligence records tied to foreign nationals with links to the CCP who had business dealings with Hunter Biden. Okay. In their letter to the Director of National Intelligence and the DOJ Attorney General, Grassley, ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Ron Johnson, ranking member of the House Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, noted that they have been reviewing financial transactions and connections between and among members of the Biden family, the whole shebang. Okay, dude, they're all like, and foreign nationals connected to the CCP, including its military and intelligence services, on September 23rd, 2020. And I'm just going to, my brain goes on all different rabbit trails. So why I'm going over this, I'm going to give you another piece of information. I'm going to cover it in a minute. But it's so funny, I have to tell you. So Joe Biden said that his son was off of crack when he was running in 2020. I'm going to show you an interview. I don't know if I'm going to show it to you. I'm just going to read it. Hunter's back for another interview. Like, he shouldn't do this.
Stop it.
You know? And what did we say? Other people are saying, when the mainstream media finally goes after the Biden family, you'll know it's time to move on
for a change in the regime.
Right. And reporters are even asking Psaki, why is it called, why are you calling the Biden administration the Biden-Harris administration? This is not anything that's ever been done before. Clinton administration. It's not the Bush-Cheney administration. It's not the Clinton-Gore administration. Why are you calling it the Biden-Harris administration? You know what her answer was? Senator Harris, or Vice President Harris, is the first one in to the White House, and she's the last, or the first one in the room, and she's the last one out. So her role is expanding as we move on. Well, it's absolutely hilarious.
That's truthful. Her role is expanding as they move on. That is their goal. It's
so
called mind games. They know exactly what they're doing. I guarantee you, Psaki knows what she's doing.
Let me explain something to you. We were silent trying to share all this stuff about Hunter Biden. It's real. The whole Bidens, Joe Biden, they're all so incredibly corrupt. And the left knows it. And they know that Hunter Biden is a whore-loving crack addict who actually has sex trafficked. Okay? Grassley and Johnson have the documents of paying money to girls who are part, and it goes through a sex trafficking ring in the Ukraine. So these are facts on the ground. So Joe says that his son was not on crack during the 2020 campaign, and Hunter says that his dad came to him in tears trying to stage an intervention.
Oh dear.
During the 2020 campaign.
Oh.
So Joe lied. There we have that. And so that's fun. So of particular concern, the GOP senators wrote in their letter Hunter Biden had a close and personal relationship with Yi Yingming, a Chinese oil tycoon whose company's CEFC, China Energy Company, sought oil drilling rights in Chad and Uganda. Yi reportedly, and not, I'm sure, related to Kanye West, had links to the communist regime's People Liberation Army. The president's son also had a close association with Yi's business association, Gongwin Dong and Chi Ping Patrick. Associates.
You said association.
Associates. It's imperative that Congress better understand the relationship of Yi Yiming, Gong Wing Dong, and Patrick Ho, and between and among themselves, and with the CCP, the CEFC, China Energy, and their activities in the United States, including those related to the Biden family. Accordingly, please produce all intelligence records, including but not limited to all FISA-derived information relating to these three individuals no later than April 14th. Hunter Biden attracted scrutiny during last year's election season after a former business partner disclosed, remember, we had... Tony Bobulinski on Tucker, right?
Yeah,
disclosed to media outlets a trove of text messages, some of which demonstrated his close ties to Key. Other messages suggested the president was aware of his son's business activity, although then candidate Biden denied knowledge of his son's dealings. The revelations prompted concern about foreign influence on U.S. policy. Federal investigators are currently probing Hunter Biden's tax affairs, including reportedly his business dealings with China. While he also holds a stake in a Chinese private equity firm, the White House press secretary said earlier this month that younger Biden has been working to unwind his investment. When Patrick Ho was charged by the DOJ in 2017, he reportedly phoned Joe Biden's brother James, who has said that he believed the call was for Hunter Biden. A 3-judge panel on the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Manhattan, New York, found that Ho was properly convicted by a federal jury in December 2018 of paying bribes to the presidents of Chad and Uganda.
So that's Ho.
That's Ho. Yeah. So Grassley and Johnson asked the DOJ and the Office of D&I to send all unclassified material directly to committees. So we'll see where that ends up. But it is a major league mess. That's what I'm going to call it.
That's good.
A major league mess with Hunter.
Well, I'm proud of Grassley and Johnson for not letting that go. That's good.
Yes. Go ahead and bring up that New York... Or I have it here. Okay. So Hunter finally admits the laptop at the center of the New York Post expose could certainly belong to him. Hunter Biden has finally fessed up. Let's see here.
I know, but you know that this is.
I really don't know what the answer is.
You don't know yes or no if the laptop
I don't have
was
any
yours.
idea. I have no idea.
So was that your laptop?
For real, I don't know.
I know, but you know that this is.
I really don't know.
For real, I don't know.
You don't know yes or no if the laptop
I don't have
was
any
yours.
idea. I have no idea.
So could have been yours.
Of course, certainly. There could be a laptop out there that was stolen from me. There could be that I was hacked. It could be that it was Russian intelligence. It could be that it was stolen from me.
Biden is finally breaking his silence about the Post expose surrounding the laptop, offering CBS Sunday Morning a rambling response while admitting that the computer could have belonged to him. At the tail end of the 2020 presidential race, the Post uncovered shocking emails from Hunter Biden's laptop that raised corruption concerns regarding then candidate Joe Biden's ties to his son's foreign business ventures. Many social media users weren't buying Hunter's confusion over whether the laptop was actually his. I really don't understand this. I'm aware of the electronic devices I own, and if the FBI contacted me regarding one of them, I would know.
If it was stolen or not.
Yeah, I have so many disposable laptops. It's possible, I guess. He's giving her those wide, unblinking believe me eyes. What do you guys believe him?
Okay, so yeah, that the one tweet there, it was my thought exactly. I have so many disposable laptops. Now, here's the deal. He said it would have been hacked by Russia, okay? So apparently those those pictures that are on your laptop where you're taking selfies and you got videos of you like
so many pictures.
All that
How did
crazy
Russia
stuff. No. But Russia can't manufacture pictures of
and
you,
videos.
Hunter. Okay, they can maybe find them from somewhere that they were taken of you actually doing those things and put them on a laptop. That's possible. Are you feeling me? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say here? They did not make up videos and pictures of you doing crack off of a whore. Like, it didn't happen.
Remember. This water damaged MacBook Pro, which bore a sticker from the Beau Biden Foundation, his brother, was dropped off for repair at a Delaware computer shop in April 2019, but the individual who dropped it off never returned to pick it up. It was seized by the FBI in December of that year.
But it would make sense why someone would drop off a laptop that has incriminating evidence on it and not pick it up if you were doing crack.
Exactly.
And you didn't have the money to pick it up, or B, you're so strung out you don't even remember.
In addition to his Ukrainian connections, other emails on the computer showed Hunter discussing potential business deals with China's largest private energy company. How does a crack addict get a business deal with China's largest energy company?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, we do know.
One deal seemed to spark considerable interest with the younger Biden, who called it an interesting deal for me and my family. The
younger Biden.
The laptop also contained highly personal photos and recordings, including an explicit 12-minute video that appears to show the first son, who struggled with addiction in the past, smoking crack and engaged in acts with an unidentified woman. Additionally, Senate Republicans revealed the findings of their investigation into Hunter Biden's business dealings in September. They said the Obama administration ignored glaring warning signs. Hunter Biden's position with the reportedly corrupt energy company, which paid him as much as $50,000 a month, I heard it was $80, but whatever, created an immediate potential conflict of interest because his father was involved in U.S. policy toward the Ukraine. And then, yeah, we know how Biden says, my son, like a lot of people you know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him. The younger Biden got candid about an interview his family had with him during the 2020, an intervention his family had with him during the 2020 presidential race over his substance abuse in the interview. Hunter said that he stormed out of the house and tried to get in his car after being confronted, only to be chased down the driveway by his daughters and the Democrat presidential hopeful himself. I tried to go to my car, and my girls literally blocked the door to my car and said, Dad, please, no, you can't, no. This was the hardest part of the book to write. He grabbed me in a hug, referring to his father. He grabbed me he gave me a bear hug and just cried and said, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, please. Asked what he thought when he heard his father's pleas for him to get help for his substance abuse problems, Biden said the words didn't make a dent in taking down his addiction. I thought, I need to figure out a way to tell him I'm going to do something so that I can go take another hit. It's the only thing I could think, literally. That's how powerful addiction is. I don't know of a force more powerful than my family's love, except addiction. You can see that full interview on Monday.
That seems actually pretty legitimate, though. Like, I think that probably happened, and it probably happened that way. That's how, when you're dealing with addicts, that's how it goes.
Yes. That is how it goes. However,
Hunter's the only one that's trying to be honest here.
However, wouldn't that have been good public information to know that the president might be a little bit emotionally compromised because his son is a crack addict?
Yeah.
And he's trying to get him help while he's running for president? Wouldn't that have been pertinent, newsworthy information?
I feel like it would have endeared people to him. So I think they dropped the ball there in trying to cover it up. No. You don't think so?
Sane people would be like, because we know what happens with addicts in our family. Mm-hmm. There's stealing going on. There's lying going on. Yep. There's extortion going on.
Right.
If your son's a drug addict, he's dealing with drug dealers. Okay?
That's so true.
Criminally. And your son is literally breaking the law.
Yeah.
And should be in jail.
Yeah.
Doing crack is illegal.
It is.
In whatever state he's in. Okay? So Joe Biden here's the thing. This is why I'm actually for jail for narcotics. I know a lot of people, Washington State or Seattle, decriminalized all drugs, even crack and heroin. And I think to myself, you can't get I have to sign something to get some Mucinex. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me that people are going to be put in jail for crack and heroin possession. There's a lot of things you can't possess in your possession. Mm. And crack and heroin are deadly substances. That's a whole other subject for me, but I just feel like people just, we just want programs for drug addicts. Well, you know what? People can walk right out of programs.
Yeah.
All right. So there was an attack.
But before you move on to that, because you didn't cover this, there is actually a signed work order for this laptop at that. Let me show you guys this so you can see. It says Bill 2, Hunter Biden. Yeah. Did somebody drop that off in his name? And the dude couldn't even cover $85 to come back and get his laptop. I mean,
I'm with you. I think he probably forgot about it.
I think he was strung out and, probably didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, There was obviously a crazy person, okay, who was not mentally sound. They were in our U.S. Capitol. He drove this car into a barrier. I don't know what his plan was, but there has one officer that is down, that's gone.
Wow.
We lost his life. And immediately the left came out and said, it's got to be a white guy. It's a Trump supporter. It's a white person. Now, the question it remains here is, like the Colorado shooting, which we came out, that was an Islamic terror attack.
Yeah.
The guy had been trying to do terror attacks all around the country for the past year. And you probably barely know about it. Ahmed somebody.
Ahmed.
Killed 8 people. He was Middle Eastern. All the victims in Colorado were white. And it's not a story anymore. It's not a story anymore.
Because it doesn't fit their narrative. That does not help us at all. Let's not talk about it.
So it's not hyperbole to say that the left is always hoping.
I know.
For a white person to do something crazy.
Right.
Like,
well, and I hope that this also kind of puts to rest a little bit for some of our viewers that may be a little bit too far on the conspiracy theories, that it's not always a false flag. You know, sometimes it's just crazy people go out and just do crazy stuff, and the CIA did not put MK Ultra in their brains to do it.
But this guy is part of the Nation of Islam. Now, that's the Krijlam thing.
That's different than Islam.
But it's a Krijlam.
That's the Krijlam thing.
But
Louis Farrakhan.
2 Islamic-leaning people doing attacks under Biden and under Trump, all Islamic-inspired attacks stopped. So here's some of the lefty check marks. So it was a white Trump supporter. DC MPD chief says there does not appear to be any ongoing threat, and it does not appear to be terrorism related. Without having the slightest clue about the security incident at the Capitol, I'm going to go ahead and call white nationalist terrorism on this one. Gee, I wonder if that guy who attacked the Capitol is a white Trump supporter. So they were white. And that is how the left responds. And Ted Cruz tweeted out that NBC's Pete Williams reports on MSNBC the suspect in Capitol Police incident is a 25-year-old Indiana man named Noah Green. May have lived in Virginia. On his Facebook page, he notes he is a follower of the Nation of Islam. Suspect is now dead. Ted Cruz says, suddenly, like the recent shooter in Colorado, this lunatic is going to magically disappear from the news. If a depraved murderer doesn't fit the woke narrative, he doesn't exist.
It's really good.
The quartering says, we must act swiftly to unilaterally ban Joe Biden from all social media until such a point where the violence at the Capitol stops. His dangerous rhetoric was clearly in the heart of the man today who attacked the Capitol. Biden insurgency.
That's good. I like it.
Biden insurgency. Let's see. We're gonna play that in a second. We're gonna play that in a second.
Are we still? We're still on YouTube.
Yeah, we're still. Capitol Hill suspect is Louis Farrakhan supporter, identified as 25-year-old Noah Green. Left a note on Facebook. He ran into one of those barriers. It's very strange.
You actually didn't tell them what happened, did you?
He was trying to go through the barrier. And he was shot. I'm going to read some of these. In addition to my last post, I encourage everyone to study Revelations. Study the signs of the end times. Study who the beast is. Study who the Antichrist is. Study who the false prophet is. And study the created images during those times. The minister is here to save me and the rest of humanity, even if it means facing death. Be willing to deny yourself and follow him. Pick up your cross. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, his teacher, the exalted Christ, is alive and in power. I bear witness. Study the minister. Watch his lectures. Study Elijah Muhammad. Study the mother wheel, which is present here in America. I bear witness. We have a little time. Peace, Noah.
Well, that's where the end time stuff will get you.
So he left a trail. pretty crazy. Pretty crazy stuff. Capitol Police officer killed by follower of Nation of Islam. This is William Billy Evans. So let's honor him here. Capitol Police officer killed by Noah Green, a follower of Nation of Islam, was identified Fridays. William Billy Evans, an 18-year veteran who was with the department's first responders unit. The U.S. Capitol was under lockdown and is still under lockdown. They engaged like 5,000 troops. The driver, 25-year-old Noah Green, rammed the barrier on the Senate side and exited the vehicle armed with a large blade. The Capitol Police engaged Green and shot him dead. Unfortunately, Capitol Police officer Billy Evans passed away. And I don't know exactly, let me see, 2 law enforcement officials told the Associated Press that the suspect stabbed one of the officers. The officials spoke to AP. We're not authorized to publicly discuss the pending investigation. It is with profound sadness that I share the news of the passing of Officer William Billy Evans this afternoon from inquiries he sustained following an attack in the North barricade by a lone assailant. So God,
that's pretty intense.
Yeah,
though. To die from a stab wound.
Yeah,
that's an intense attack of stabbing. That's awful.
So he was obviously went crazy and mad. Was trying to get into the Capitol. And attacked a police officer.
So he probably thought, I'm just going to break this down, because Leah's like, what was he attempting to do just by ramming his car? Like, you're not going to get through a barrier. He probably thought he was going to get through the barrier and then go attacking people with a knife.
Yeah.
So that doesn't fit their narrative either. He didn't have a gun.
Right.
So it looks like.
So he was recently given an award from the Nation of Islam. He posted a Nation of Islam Certificate of Completion, Savior's Day Gift 2021.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't even know they gave those out. I'm going to show that to you guys here. Huh. Very interesting.
Yeah. Leftist rush to claim Capitol Police attacker was a white Trump supporter. Suspect is actually a young black man. Part of the Nation of Islam.
So he gave $1,085 and they gave him a certificate
for it. As they were taking.
Oh, that's pretty intense.
That's intense.
That could have been the suspect right there. That could have been the suspect there that they were taken away because
this might be disturbing images.
We're not going to play that.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, keep the officer in your prayers and his family. Well, keep him too in your prayers. You know, hearts are still got to go somewhere, right? How quickly that happens. Isn't pray. Okay, back onto the. Mom forgot to. Somebody accidentally turn on your music when your washing machine's done. It's actually kind of fun, but. Ding, 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 ding. So Joe lied. Remember, I just wanted to show this picture. Hunter, dad staged an intervention. Yeah, so I wanted to show you that picture there.
You know, on more of a serious topic, though, one of our commenters. On, I don't remember which. Oh, yeah. Sarah on Facebook says exactly it happened that way. Yet in the end, more powerful than the family's love is addiction. And we see that. The only thing, here's the deal. It goes family's love, addiction, God is more powerful than it all. But we do find that the family's love is more often than not enough.
But here's a very interesting thing. He says on March 16th, to be honest,
this is back on the attack.
Yeah, the attacker, Noah Green here. To be honest, these past few years have been tough, and these past few months have been tougher. He posted, I've been tried with some of the biggest unimaginable tests in my life. I'm currently now unemployed after I left my job partly due to afflictions, but ultimately in search of a spiritual journey. So if he's part of the Nation of Islam, and his spiritual journey led him to going to but you can't say that his religion did it, but he's saying that he's on a spiritual journey.
Right.
And it was a spiritual journey that led him here.
Yeah.
It was his religion, and so you can blame the religion.
But he literally quotes Louis Farrakhan right here.
There is much confusion in this day and age of, in my perspective, the ongoing COVID crisis, unemployment, rising national debt, division with the political sphere, rumors of war, and the like. But one thing I'm assured everyone can lean on is faith in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as the man who can carry us through the dark hour. So we're going to blame Louis Farrakhan for all this now?
This doesn't even make sense. My faith is one of the only things that has been able to carry me through these times, and my faith is centered on the belief of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as Jesus the Messiah.
Yeah, Farrakhan has been calling himself the Messiah. He says he's Jesus.
Wow.
The final divine reminder in our midst. I consider him my spiritual father. Without his guidance, his word, and his teachings that I picked up along the way, I wouldn't have been able to continue.
This is really long. Like, he gave a lot of detail here.
And then it says, a great mission for the liberation of us under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought forth by Allah in the person of the Master Fard Muhammad.
So here's the deal, guys. This is how these things can happen. When you have something so satanic as someone claiming to be Jesus, and they convince somebody else, there's all kinds of demon activity in there. That's all you need to know. It's not MK Ultra. It's not anything crazy. It's not, well, it is crazy. It's not anything outside of the realm of it. This is really simple. This is Satan. This is demonic, probably possession that influenced this guy to carry out this attack.
He says, business is warfare was the topic given by my minister that really inspired that path. He says, the communities of black and brown here in the United States and improve the communities. It required long hours, lots of studying, and exercise to keep me balanced while experiencing an array of concerning symptoms along the path I believe to be side effects of drugs he took unknowingly. However, the path has been thwarted as Allah, God, has chosen me for other things. Throughout life, he set goals, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so you just... It's
sad.
Yeah.
Really, really sad.
So he left this trail, lost his job, recently posted on Facebook he was seeking spiritual help. And now he is gone too. And I wonder what Louis Farrakhan will say about this. I don't know.
Steve Herman, a police officer, says with knife in hand, the assailant did start to run towards the officers.
Yeah.
The Capitol Police acting chief.
Yeah, he did. He did.
What a shame.
Yeah, it is. And like Michelle said, we battle not with flesh and blood, but against rulers and principalities in high places. This is crazy. So, we're probably gonna take a second. Goodbye? Yeah, but let's not say goodbye until we.
Oh, let's tell them what we're doing.
Let's bring it up.
Can I play that one? Do I have that?
I don't think you probably.
It's on Rumble.
I don't think you can. You play the video? I think you can.
Why not? Why not?
Well, because it says stuff about election fraud and things like that.
Not barely. He's rapping. You can hardly hear it.
Let's play the first half.
Okay.
We can play the first half.
All right.
Probably.
So.
Because then he kind of goes into it a little bit more.
All right. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to Thrive. And spell Thrive. Time. I don't know if this is on Rumble. Show. All right. Maybe I just need Clay Clark.
Try Clay Clark
on here. All right, let's try Clay Clark. There's Thrive Time Show. It should be on this one.
Who sent you the trailer?
I found it off. Here it is, off of Clay's Facebook page. Here's the deal, guys. We're going somewhere. We're going back to Leah's alma mater, Rhema Bible.
This is where I went to Bible college. We'll probably end up making a specific video just about this.
To tell people
about it. But since you're catching us here.
It's huge.
Yeah.
All right. Are you guys ready for this? You're not ready? I have a story for how we're not just going. How we even ended up being able to go is huge. So you guys aren't going to want to miss this.
Do you want to tell it now or save it? I think your story should be saved till we do the whole.
America was found.
Let me rewind it here.
Yeah.
There is no substitute for American leadership
Facebook, right?
and exceptionalism. America should not fear our enemies. In fact, we should clearly define our enemies, face them head on, and then defeat those that seek to threaten our country and our way of life.
General Flynn is in, so if you fight like a Flynn, you want your country back, you want to hear from Lynn, I recommend you bend and maybe break a bruise. Do what you have to make the rendezvous to the Freedom Conference 2021. Buy your tickets now before the sold out.
It's actually sold
Let me
out.
tell you about the lineup that we got in store. Presented by Clay Clark and the Thrive Time Show. We got General Flynn, Lynn Wood, and Mike Lindell, Sidney Powell, Patrick Byrne, and Andy Wakefield. We got Mark Victor Hansen and Dr. Meehan, Lori Gregory, and my man Kevin Jenkins. It's got some people thinking. So many Patriots, where we gonna fit them all in? On the Rhema campus is the answer, my friend. With 4,500 seats, it's gonna be packed. Picture the seat pack without the rhino crap. Patrick Byrne will be there, the man from Overstock. And speaking on the lineup, we got Pastor Graylock. We got the great Melissa Tate and the Anna Kate too. We even have Trump's photographer for you. Come on. Out of shadows, we got Mike Smith. It's the Health Ranger Mike Adams, you know what I miss. And Dr. Christian Northrup too. Now Dr. Aaron Lewis is direct to you. Clay Clark's Health and Freedom Conference 2021 featuring Dr. Keith Rowe.
So there's more to this video, and I'm just gonna kind of hover over it here, because they play Trumpy there, and we're not allowed to do that on Facebook, right? Like legit, we're not allowed to. So you can watch the entire 2-day event on Brighteon.com and Rhema.tv.
And on the Thrive Times show website.
And we will.
Thrive Times, Times.
No, it's Thrive Time Show.
Thrive Time Show? Okay, Thrive Time Show.
But here's the deal, guys. We heard about this a couple of weeks ago, and we followed the website. We went there, and I submitted, like, if you want to get tickets, come here. You can, whatever. I got an automated response, and I didn't hear back from them for a week and a half. And I got this email saying, sorry, we're sold out. 50,000 people requested tickets and only 4,000 were available.
No masks, no vaccine passport there.
None of that. Okay. So then in that email, that's when I found out that it was going to be at Leah's alma mater at Rhema. We lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma in Broken Arrow for almost 5 years. That's our campus. I say our because we attended extra classes with Leah every day for 2 years. And our home church Guts is there in town in Tulsa. So we both said that we felt this like Jumanji drum beat, boom, 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 boom. Like God was saying, like, you have to go to this. You have to go. And we're like, well, hey, God, we don't travel very much because we've got a farm and all that, but it's sold out. What, are they going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, 50,000 people requested tickets, but we'll give you guys one. Well, actually, here's the deal. Leah, in a Hail Mary, sent Clay Clark an email and to the Thrive Time show and just kind of said, listen, Rhema's my alma mater. We believe we're going to, it was such a God email. You went the total route, like different than what I would have done. Like, we're going to change the country through the power of God.
We are changing the country through the power of God.
You told him a little bit about our story of, how we've been censored and our main channel was deleted and all of that. And she said, so if you've got room for a couple of hosts and a camera guy, let us know. Mm-hmm. So I get an email from Clay's executive assistant the next morning that says, Michelle, what is your phone number? And I told Lee, I said, well, I don't think they'd be asking for our phone number if it was a no. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I left my phone number and waited and waited and waited. Now it felt like an eternity because I keep my phone on silent, but I kept my phone was on and I'm getting all my regular notifications, which I can't stand the noise, but I went through it for a day and a half. Then not yesterday, but the day before, right? I get the call and I expect it to be from his executive assistant. And he says, Michelle, I said, yeah. He said, this is Clay. And I'm like, Clay. Now here's the deal. Clay's a big deal. Oh, we've been looking into him. He's a really, really big deal.
And I have when we sign off here from YouTube, I'm going to play a YouTube video that's allowed on YouTube, but I'm not going to be allowed to play it on YouTube. So I'm going to play a video with Clay Clark in it.
And all the top people that are going to be
Mike Lindell,
there.
General Flynn in a second.
But he just went right into putting my information into the system. Like, you're coming. And we don't have to pay for one of our friends, Serge, you guys hear us talk about him all the time. He lives in Tulsa. That's how we know him. And he was praying with us. Like, I'm believing you don't have to pay for the tickets. like.
And there's a special thing that we can't tell you about because you sing like a canary.
I do sing like a canary.
I'm going to have to stop you.
Here's the deal.
Like, seriously.
Clay was complimentary. He told us, he's like, you guys are a big deal. And I want to thank you for everything that you're doing. And there's something that I can't tell you about, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to tell you about afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. That's kind of important, right? And so I can't tell you, but you're going to just have to be excited with me so much so I couldn't sleep after the fact. So we're going. It's a big deal. We're a big deal. Are you walking around saying I'm a big deal?
And we're going to get some interviews like it's going to blow your mind.
Yes. So, guys, God literally just rolled out the red carpet, said you're going, and we are so excited. It's in 2 weeks. You guys are going to be able to watch it. Patriot Gallery is going to be streaming this. I think we're going to try to make it so that she can know how to do all that and stream it to our D Live, not our coverage. We'll do that and we'll go live on Facebook. I'm talking about the actual conference itself is going to be like cool person after cool person after cool person after cool person. And
So where are you going to get? We will be doing some live streams onto YouTube.
Right. And some
explanations of what's happening.
And possibly on Frank. Lindell said in this show right here, he's like, I'm really hoping to get it rolled out so that the people that are covering this will be able to do so on Frank.
Yeah. So I'm very excited, and I'm hoping that we can all join up there, and you can get notifications to wherever we're going to boom, 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 boom. And then we don't have to censor. We don't have to do anything like that. And I can play. I'm going to play before I sign off with YouTube. And guys, go to D Live and go to Facebook for now, and Twitch. And is Periscope still up for some reason?
No, I'm not doing Periscope.
Okay. Did you try?
I didn't.
Okay, because I thought it went a little bit extra. I saw somebody did a Periscope yesterday or something. I want to play this clip here from Mike Flynn talking about he's on the Flashpoint show here. And
that entire show I listened to right before our show was so good.
Trying to reach the pastors, the ministers. And I have to tell you, I want to be on Frank, hopefully when it comes out, because I want to be Frank again. And since the end of January, when YouTube took away our Mass Faith 3 channel, we, from November 3rd to January 20th, we flew. We ran. You guys were with us. We were going live. We had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people with us live at certain times.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and we were bringing, and we still are bringing the power of God.
But we have thousands of people live with us sometimes.
But I can't bring you the power of God without the truth, because the power of God is the truth. But the truth is this, that I can say this: God is moving. Good things are happening.
Yes.
And if you come over to D Live and to Facebook, we're going to blow your mind again. I'm going to bring you some good news stories, and I'm going to show you how God is using all of this to wake up the sleeping giants and the sleeping lions. And what I love from this particular show from yesterday, Flashpoint here, was they were hammering this whole situation with the power of God, with Mike Lindell being so positive. Yeah, things are going to turn around. Well, wait a minute. In the natural, the interviewer said, well, I can believe with you in the spiritual, but I can't see that happening in the natural. That's how this works.
Exactly.
That's exactly how this is going to work.
Did you watch the whole show too?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay.
That's exactly how this is going to play out.
Right.
Okay? Because in the natural, God don't get no glory. It's like when they try to explain away all the plagues in the Ten Commandments. It's like, well, they could have had like the river go dry or turn to blood, and then somehow the frogs could have just all of a sudden started invading, and then there could have been the locusts, and then they passed through the Red Sea. But I know it says Pharaoh's army drowned. Forget that part. They just went through a sea of reeds. Right. Forget the part that Pharaoh's army can't swim, and they just drown.
Right.
Okay. So, anyways, that's God gets the glory when things don't look like they can be fixed or changed in the natural. And so, God, it's like, you may not know this, but there is no Revolutionary War without the power of God. there's story after story after story. I've got my little book here that I love, miracles in the American history and the Revolution and things like that. Answered prayer, things God moving. And I want to play this clip here.
This is before we sign off to YouTube,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we all desire the simplified life, right?
That's on
I haven't
fast
said that
forward.
my life has not been simple.
That's
Certainly
true.
not over the last 4 years, but it's not been a simple life that I've led. It never is as a soldier, never is as a person who's decided to potentially sacrifice, one's life for the greater good or for the good of the country. But we all desire that simplified life. Forget about it. We're not going to have it. We're definitely not going to have it now, nor are we going to have it in the weeks, months, and years ahead. And that's not what or how we are called to live. We are not called to live that way, Gene, in this life. Everybody knows it. The older that you get, the more you know that you have more and greater sacrifices that you have to do for whether it's your family, whether it's your community, whether it's yourself. And everybody goes through these different moments. I've seen it on the battlefield, and I've certainly seen it inside of our own system of government, which really has just outgrown itself, and it really is a detriment to our country right now. It really, really is. And what we need to do, this is really for the pastors, what you need to do for the pastors or those that are community leaders, you need to ensure that we have what I call it uninterrupted
I have all these up.
communication
play it.
with the people of our
18
community.
minutes.
And that uninterrupted communication can't be through Zoom chats or can't be
1816.
1816.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna do this over here so you guys can hear this a little bit better.
Okay.
Mike, General Flynn. By the time we're done,
this craziness that we talk about in our lack of opening up the churches and the ministries around this country. I mean, one of the ideas that because this event in Tulsa sold out, why not live stream it into church halls or ministries?
Yes.
and gather all your parishioners or all your congregation inside of your ministries and
make it a 2-day
live
event.
stream it in and then talk about it after. Have a conversation with the people right there face to face. That's one way to do it. So open up the doors, open up the gates. Let's get people back to church. Let's get people back into the faith. Our country and the lessons that I've learned in the last few years, but I've known this all my life. Really, it's about our faith and really who we are as faithful people. Our Constitution, which we should be enormously proud of, was built on faith. It was built on the Bible. Somebody said to me the other day, they started talking about how it goes back to a couple of hundred years prior to the founding of the country, to the Magna Carta. And I said, no, it doesn't. It goes back over 2,000 years ago.
This is so good.
Our Constitution and our country is built on, and we should be fearless about this. It's built on the faith. It's built on the faith of who we are as Americans, and that Judeo-Christian principles and values that we should be fearless about is what our country is really all about. And so as we move forward, the one area that is going to be called upon even more are the sort of the faith-based leaders. So one of the things for the pastors, for people who think that they're community leaders, and maybe some in the communities that are part of these organizations that watch your particular show, these people have to start thinking about how do they get involved in Civics 101. So
Yes.
a pastor who's trying to cheer his community on for whatever ecumenical role that he's playing, why not step up and run for office? Because we're going to need more
all the
people
pastors
of
need
faith
to
get involved in politics. The political class in this country, and any politicians that tells me what they've been doing for the last 10 years, and we've been working this hard and we've been working that hard. Well, obviously they haven't been working hard enough because it's completely broken down. So one of my calls, if you will, out to the religious community is really to get involved, and don't just get involved by preaching what you know out of this beautiful book called the Bible, or comparing our Bible or the Bible to how our Constitution was designed and how we should be functioning as a nation, but get involved even more and encourage those community leaders that you know that may be great business leaders in the community. Tell them to step up. Now is the time to step up, and they need to do it fast. We are running out of time.
Yeah.
Any politician, anybody that you hear talk about this person's running in 2024, or that person's running in 2024. All these,
because he goes on to say, well, before we go to 2024, we might need to look backwards a few months. Okay, so
yeah. So this is going to be a huge call out, and I just want to give people an idea of who Clay is here.
There he is.
I'm going to play his intro here. All right, go ahead.
Oklahoma in just a few days. My first guest tonight, Clay Clark. Clay's the founder, visionary of Thrive15.com, online edutainment, practical training for entrepreneurs taught by millionaires, mentors, everyday success stories. Clay, how did you get in? That does not sound like the resume of someone that's going to put on a rally.
Well, I'm a Christian. I'm a father of 5. I've built several multi-million-dollar companies, and it occurred to me that Hebrews isn't suspended by a fake pandemic. And so Hebrews says we should not forsake the gathering even as we draw closer. And I've noticed that a lot of churches are not open. And so I thought, what if we had a conference, an event, a health and freedom rally that could encourage churches and serve as a catalyst to change the national narrative? And so we organized this event. And the goal of this event is we have three goals here. Goal number 1, I want to kill the spirit of fear.
I love this.
You see, in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, it says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Well, ladies and gentlemen, fear kills logic. And so the models that said that 2.2 million people would die, the models that said that 2.2 million people would die, those models were made by the Abdul Latif Jameel Institute. And even Dr. Deborah Birx came out and said they were wrong by 25 times. Point number 2, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are in a spiritual battle, and people deserve to know the truth about election fraud and medical fraud. And so we're bringing in General Flynn, we're bringing in Mike Lindell, we're bringing in Simone Gold, we're bringing in Sidney Powell, we're bringing in Charlene Bollinger, Patrick Byrne. They're all going to be in one place. 1, to kill the spirit of fear. 2, we want to share with you the truth of what's going on. And 3, we want to give the American pastors and listeners and people out there who watch this program a practical action plan. In the Bible, it reads in Matthew chapter 5, verse 11, it reads, "Blessed are ye who are persecuted for his righteousness' sake." It doesn't say, "Blessed are ye who hide from a fear-based narrative based upon models that said that 2.2 million people would die," created by the Abdul Latif Jameel Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, we must embrace the idea that blessed are ye who are persecuted for his righteousness. We must become bold, because God hath given you, pastors, given you a spirit, and he's not given you a spirit of fear, but he's given you a spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. And everybody needs to know that the models that said that 2.2 million people would die, those are false. Thank the Lord. 2, we know that the PCR tests, those COVID-19 PCR tests, Gene, those are falsely calibrated. They're supposed to be at 17 cycles, and they're set at 40 cycles, which is why the number of cases is wrong. Because if we had a massive number of cases of a super deadly virus, we should also see a massive number of deaths, but we don't. And we're going to have doctors at this event, and I'm telling you, folks, they've treated over 50,000 COVID-19 patients with 0 deaths. And that's a low number, Gene. Think about that. Using budesonide, ivermectin, and hydroxychloroquine. So we're going to kill the spirit of fear. We're going to share the truth about election fraud and medical fraud. And 3, General Flynn and many other great listeners and great viewers and great leaders out there are going to be joining us all in one place at Rhema Bible College, to share an action plan to open up this country again. And it's going to happen.
We're so stoked about being able to go. I cannot even tell you guys. God has literally lined it all up.
Where's the YouTube comments? You can bring them up, because we're going to say goodbye.
Okay, so we're going to say goodbye to YouTube here.
Fear is a liar. It will take away your breath, steal your happiness. Fear, he is a liar. Fear not.
Amen.
I love that, you guys. Yeah.
Amen, amen, amen.
The prophets of God have said that there will be a shaking and awakening and the biggest revival ever. Brave. Trump Flynn, Fearless Flynn, praise the Lord. Bannon Flynn, 2024.
So Amanda Grace is going to be there. I know a lot of you guys will be excited about that. And Frank Kuhneman, is that how you say it? Is going to be there as well, I think. So I want you guys to be really, really excited about looking forward to this. Now, if you have any kind of influence in your church, I think you should do what Mike Flynn said and get them to stream this in a 2-day event. You have 2 weeks to pull this together. All right. It's Friday. It's going to happen Friday and Saturday. 2 weeks from now, April 16th and 17th. And we're going to keep talking about it on our show leading up to
Conference.
Yes. All right. So we are terribly, terribly, terribly excited. And Leah and I are tossing about the idea of possibly, no, I'm not going to say that. When we decide that we're going to do that, then I'll let you know.
For my techie friends, if you are techie and if you know of a really good microphone for a cell phone, we have one that works. Kind of got to be on airplane mode, so I want to go live with the mic. So if you guys know a good mic that you can go live with, it doesn't click, 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 click when you go live.
And it has to hook up to a cell phone with a USB-C.
USB-C
hookup.
So if you guys, my techie friends, LTV, do you guys know any of that stuff? Let me know. We had a huge gift of love that we can put towards that.
Yeah.
So the viewer wants to remain anonymous. So
all right. So we're gonna switch over. We're gonna say goodbye to YouTube. We love you guys. Please come over. We are still go to resistancechicks.com. Leah's got a whole heck of a show right now.
I'm gonna start with this one thing. No, I'm not gonna start with this because I can't play it on Facebook.
Actually, we're gonna play this at the very, very end after we sign off on Facebook.
Because you can't. Laura Trump had an interview with Donald Trump. And they took the video down because even the voice of Donald Trump is not allowed on Facebook.
Right.
The voice of Donald Trump.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can't share it. This is how, here's the thing. That's how scared they are.
I know. I'm so excited about Frank. All right.
I don't want you guys to be afraid because that actually just shows you how afraid they are.
They are. Exactly.
And the fact that
it looks like it's had like 1 million views there on Rumble.
And the fact, I know, I think it has. YouTube is removing the dislike button feature as the Biden White House content continues to see massively huge dislikes. And so
you know what I love
this
about that?
Is what they do. When you're not going to play, they don't want to play by the rules.
Right.
And when you start winning by the right, they keep changing the rules. And so, okay, so Trump's not allowed on it, so we're just going to press dislike on the Biden stuff. Well, no, we'll change the rules on that too.
Right.
Changing the rules as you go because you represent the people.
Well, and what makes me like a little bit upset about this is I've never liked the dislike button.
I know.
Because of our channel.
I think they're only going to get
And I'm like, hang on a minute. We have been asking you, YouTube, all of the creators have been asking you to get rid of the dislike button for 10 years or however long it's been there. And you're only getting rid of it because of the hetty words, as Katie Hopkins likes to say.
But I will say this. Trump is looking to do a rally soon.
Okay. All right. So YouTube, we love you guys. Go to resistancechicks.com and continue with the show. Because Leah was telling me, she's like, I hate that the whole show that I have today is so good. And most of it can't go on YouTube. So you're not going to want to miss the rest of the show, which will be on Facebook. We're on Twitch. And we are on
D-Live.
D-Live.
And we'll be back up on Rumble and
And
BitChute.
soon
on Frank.
On Frank. That's really, really
so
exciting.
excited about Frank.
I'm so excited.
Frank.